Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the Maddog and Pino NFL review. Two drinking buddies shooting the shit about the NFL.
How you doing tonight, Pino?
Pino's all right. Even the losers get lucky sometime.
They watch the games, break it down for you, and deliver all you need to know from the weekend's action.
That means there will be 16 games,
Yeah.
right? So half of them lost, right?
Yeah.
So 32 divided by 2, but
16.
14 teams have a loss.
What?
Diehard fan? You'll get all the in-depth analysis behind the scores.
Devontae Adams had 175 yards last week. The other guy, Nico Collins, had 170 yards this week.
Check out the big brain on Brett.
Or just a fan of the NFL spectacle? You'll get all the quirks, follies, and absurd moments from each weekend's action.
If he took a shotgun snap, by the time he caught it, he could smell the Starbucks on Micah Parsons' breath.
We got the shit kicked out of us from the moment they walked out of the tunnel.
So, join us now for the insights, laughs, and chaos that is the Maddog and Pino NFL review. Now your hosts,
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the NFL wrap-up show with Maddog and Pino. And you will notice some differences in our production value this week. We are doing this remotely since Pino moved to the other side of the planet, as far as I'm concerned, from Hermosa Beach.
Pino's coming back to the South Bay. He has to. This is ridiculous out here. By the way, it's 95 degrees in Pasadena today.
Well, it's about 80 here, so I'm sure it is.
Well, I missed the June gloom. Even though I bitched about it for 25 years.
Yeah, sure. I did maintain some consistency here. I'm in our studio. I have our mascot here, so we're it's almost like home. What can I say?
Yeah, I know, and we need Harley in there.
Where's
Harley?
Harley's somewhere. She'll probably be down here in a second. She is unsupervised at the moment, so it wouldn't shock me to see her at some point.
And I'm just shocked, as I said to you in pre-production, that you and Leslie are not on Aer Lingus right now going to Dublin. Just wanted to celebrate your Irish ethnicity,
exactly,
and to go see the Steelers.
That is all on Leslie. She's got a 60th birthday in Cabo, so that preempted.
Oh, she does.
That preempted, and I don't know, couldn't find anyone else to go with, I guess.
Right. So are you going to Cabo this weekend then?
Oh, no. That's for her girls 60th.
Okay.
So.
Oh.
All right. Well, you want to get into it? I mean, this is going to be a fairly meandering podcast, I suspect.
No, this is going to be all over the place. This is going to be all over the place.
Mostly because I can't kick Pino under the table anymore. So.
You don't want Pino. You don't want Pino left to his own devices.
Exactly.
Especially now that he has his kicker Young Ho Koo or whatever the fuck that hooker's name is.
That would be funny if he hooked a lot of kicks. That would be funny. All right. Anyway, so I don't know. This is week 3, so we're not quite to the quarter pole yet. But
there is no more quarter pole.
Yeah, we figured it's a Thursday night game after the 4th week, I think, on previous podcasts. But anyway,
carry the one.
But I think teams are already reaching panic mode, and anyway, so we'll get into all of that. The only opening comments I had, and we can get into this throughout it, but is so there is no preseason anymore. There literally won't be any preseason probably in the next collective bargaining.
Right, because they're going to go to 18 games.
Yeah,
right.
But no one's playing in preseason. We've talked about that a bunch, but it just seems like September is now the preseason. You see so many teams just not with their act together. So many fundamentals, and I'm going to come back to that. But people can't tackle. People are fumbling the ball a lot more than they typically do when they're in mid-season form, so to speak. So it's just like almost nothing. I wouldn't say nothing matters, or you can't make any like determinations through September, but it's kind of like it's still preseason football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can make determinations. Giants suck. And like like at some point, like relative to that comment you just made, like at what point is it on Dable?
Yeah, no, I listen. Listen. I have my team can't. The Steelers can't tackle. Derrick Henry can't hold on to a football. So like, there's so many examples. Special teams, and we'll obviously get into that. Can't block for the field goal kicker
Oh
anymore.
yeah, this
So,
is like
so
this was the greatest weekend for
so
special teams in the history of the NFL.
it certainly was. But I guess it's kind of I'm trying to bring it back to that overarching point. It's like they didn't have enough time to like work on it for real, and I don't even know what for real is anymore. They don't tackle in practice, not even in training camp. Really, do they really tackle?
They barely wear pads,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean. So like, it's not until like game time and game speed in September where they actually start feeling what it's like again. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
So
exactly.
so
So you
anyway,
can't judge it until like October.
yeah, that's kind of my point. So who knows what any of this means? But so I did write down surprise teams, and again we'll get into all the games. But the Colts are obviously a surprise, and the Danny Dimes of it all. I'm sure you have some
Well,
thoughts
like, well, that's
some thoughts
like,
about.
that might be more painful than Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, if he continues to play at the level he is, it will be, man. Oh my
Like
God.
imagine he wins the MVP.
I know, that's what I'm
Like
just saying.
and that would be and that's where I said, at what point is it on Dable? That would be an indictment on Dable.
Yeah, for sure. The
Unless
Go ahead. You want to
unless
talk everything about the Giants now? I know you're biting your fucking tongue.
unless number six just lights it up for the rest of the year.
We will get into that, I'm sure. The Bucks are surprising me. They're 3-0. They're the first team in NFL history, I think, that's won their first 3 games on the last possession. So that's interesting. And
Like they've trailed in every game, right?
yeah. At some point, yeah, they won. I literally on the last possession. It may have been the last play in every
Right.
game, every game so far.
And like, because Baker is balling, like he's balling.
I really like that guy. And it's just speaking of indictment. Look at the Browns. I'm like, they gave up on that guy, for the quarterback mess they have right now.
But relative to the Browns, dude, like if they had a somewhat competent offense,
yeah,
they'd be a really good team.
oh yeah, their defense is amazing. I mean, we'll get into that in this week's game. But
Okay.
yeah, their defense is amazing. I wrote down the Chargers as a surprise team. I don't know that I'm that surprised, but it just shows you Harbaugh's he's a good coach. He's got his quirks, and people love or hate him, but he's a good fucking coach, man. He really is.
Yeah, the fact that he beats up his quarterback before every game.
Exactly.
But guess what? That shit's coming to an end on Sunday.
I knew you were going to get to that. And then I had the panic button teams, and I did put your Giants first, just because the plan had to be starting dart soon or during the season. Obviously, it just seems
I thought it was going to be week 5, so it's a week early.
All right, I guess that's not bad. I don't know if I throw him up against the Chargers, but anyway, we'll see.
I know you would like him to start against the Saints,
right? That would make more sense.
That's why my point was about like when does it become about Dable?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because
he's
if Danny Dimes is right now like an MVP candidate,
yeah, exactly.
Like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, something's up. So yeah, I mean, he's obviously for better or worse attached his Giants future at the very least to Jackson Dart. So
right,
maybe his NFL future. I guess is my point. I mean, if it doesn't work out, he's going to get fired, right? So
yeah, he'll be an OC somewhere.
And maybe that's where he belongs.
But you know what I think? Like, and the other thing about them, like I digress. I know I'm going off script here.
There is no script. Surprise.
Their defensive coordinator sucks. Like that front, seven should have a shit ton of sacks right now, and they have none.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
And I
noticed.
don't even know his name. I don't want to know his name.
Right.
Maybe they could bring Wink Martindale back with that skinny microphone, like Price is Right kind of shit.
Exactly. All right, so here's we can go through these quickly. The other panic button teams, the one that we should talk a little bit about is the Dolphins. The Dolphins actually put up a little bit of a fight against the Bills for a bit today, but they're spiraling downward, man. It's kind of bad to watch.
Yeah, they're gonna like, I guarantee you this. Before the trade deadline, Tyreek Hill will be back on the Chiefs.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, because they'll put up with whatever off the field issues. They've already done it before. Yeah, I think you're right.
Right, but their quarterback is like 5'10".
Yeah,
like you and I are taller than he is.
He gets. I mean, I do. I watch his. It's just a different game with him versus some other. He gets the ball out accurately and quickly, but don't ask him to throw it downfield. It's just not going to happen.
Exactly. And then you got Mike McDonald, he just gets crazier by the week.
Yeah, he was quirky and out of the box, his first season,
right.
And now
he's just nuts.
Exactly. Now he's just nuts. Cowboys are Jared's already talking about what he's going to do with the draft picks next year that he got from the Minka deal.
Dude, that is like as bad as I would I just made a comment about the Giants defense. That defense is so bad
it's
amazing. Rush threw for 450 yards against them. Right? And then they got dominated by Caleb Williams this past week.
They sure did, man.
That defense sucks.
Well,
Sorry, Nev D. Sorry, Higgy.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they would disagree by any stretch.
Right.
All right, the other two I had in panic button teams: Falcons, who are already running Michael Penix out of town, and
no shit,
and the Bengals for maybe the different reasons. Burrow's out for probably the season, or at least 3 months. That just might as well be the season, and their team seemed to be falling apart as witnessed by their last game's performance. Anyway,
which is good for the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't know. We
right?
I'm so not excited about the Steelers, but we're in first place. Woohoo!
Here's my comment about the Steelers is that I've never seen Tomlin coach without a hat.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of weird looking, wasn't
it? He looks bizarre without a hat.
He did look bizarre.
I don't care if you have red paint and you paint the barn red. He should wear a hat.
He should wear a hat.
The standard is the standard.
Oh, man. All right, that's all I had for opening remarks. You want to say anything before we get into the games?
Other than, dude, has there ever been a weekend? I'm sure you researched it. Maybe you didn't. Where there was 5 blocked field goals. In a single weekend.
I didn't,
and especially with the Rams. Yeah, getting 2 blocked in the last 3 minutes of the game.
I guess. I mean, I didn't research it, but it may or may not have. What it probably didn't happen was have almost every one of them decide a game, literally decide a game.
I mean, no, I know. Yeah, no shit. And then the other big thing I have about this weekend, and you and I texted about it, was Aikman saying, "And it took big onions."
Yeah, it took big onions to go for that.
That was the greatest fucking line I've ever heard on network television.
Yeah, I laughed out loud when he said it. You're right.
Yeah, so I love that. And then I also want to talk about and this is not game specific, but all the yelling that goes on. Whether it's good morning football.
Oh, you mean on the
or during a game, yeah. I know you like Kyle Brandt. but they're just the fuck hey, this sit back there, like you think he's playing in
Yeah,
the
no,
game.
I like. I guess
It,
I
it's
think I
sort of
said I
getting
like
old with
some of
me.
his rants, but yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, it seems like you have to be the loudest voice wins, and everyone's trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
I agree with all that.
And then I wrote a list of, and I can't find it, but the of all the the eyes, everyone's a fucking Warby Parker optometrist right now. Like no one sees anyone's eyes. Like if they said, "Hey, he turned his head," okay, I get that.
Yeah,
But like, don't look at the eyes. The running back room, the linebacker room,
yeah, it's all
this room, that room, inside the building, outside the building, like that shit is starting to drive me crazy.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
They do need to.
Um,
Yeah,
and with
I
the
hear you.
two, everyone wants to be smarter than the next guy, like the too high shell, and this, that, and the other thing. Like it'll make you crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I had Lewis Riddick on the Steelers game this week, so I know
oh, you did?
I feel
Oh,
your pain.
yeah, he never shuts up. He never,
Oh, I take no.
dude.
Actually, I take that back. I think he was on the Syracuse game. Now I think about it. I
He
think,
was you know what he was? And dude, by the way, I know we only talk about games on Sundays,
yeah,
but so I watched Q's. I saw the picture Nev sent after
yeah,
the Syracuse
yeah.
game,
I was very
after the
happy.
big win, after the big win. That dude, that court, that is the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen. Is that he ruptured his
I
Achilles,
know.
right?
While he's leading the college football in passing. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, because he was fucking spinning it
yeah. He was. He
on
is.
Saturday.
He's yes.
And by the way, he's from Westfield, New Jersey, which is Union County, which is where Pino's from.
There you go.
So, all right. Anyhow,
All right. You want to get into some games?
yeah, let's
We
go.
can do
Let's
that.
go.
So why don't we talk about? I don't know if I can do it perfectly, but why don't we talk about all the blocked field goal games? The first one I had was the Rams 26 at the Eagles 33. I actually started to theme these by saying games where the score doesn't equate to what happened on the field because
And that is exactly what that's so true.
because the Rams were dominating this game. I just was glancing at it every once in a while. They were up 26-7. And then the Eagles did rally, but they rallied behind a blocked field goal, to your point. But even then, the Rams lined up to kick a game-winning field goal. And
Dude, like have you ever seen a game where they like a team has got into field goal range twice? Oh shit, dude.
dude, you can't. This
Like
can never.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Judge just hit a 3-run homer.
All right, great. Yeah,
All
no,
right,
I'm
good.
thrilled. I really am.
Yeah, I know you. I know
But
you. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I won't do it again. Um, but yeah, like in the last 3 minutes of a game where a team has been down and then gotten a field goal range twice and had two field goals, like to win the game,
yeah,
have them blocked.
including one with zero time left on the clock, and then have a guy
Right.
return it for a touchdown. So
You talk about a bad beats. And you know what? Like,
exactly, that has got to be the worst beat of all time. To be
I
honest,
made a note for myself, like, how are you doing in the 900 elimination pool?
well,
Are you still in?
we had 3 out of 4. We lost Green Bay this week, which maybe is a good segue to the next game
Right. Okay.
where the blocked field goal had impacted the game. Packers 10, Browns 13. First of all, the Packers are up 10-0 with 4 minutes to go in the game. And I think it's I did see somewhere. I think this is the first time anyone's been 10 points down with 4 minutes or less to win a game since 2011. So it doesn't happen very often.
Right.
And then how it happened is just like idiotic. Jordan Love, who hasn't thrown an interception in like 300 passes or something, throws
Right. Like in 2 years.
exactly
Like, right.
throws a stupid ass interception. They return it to the 4-yard line. So that I think allowed him to tie it. And then but the Packers get the ball back. They drive down, get in field goal range, and they get a blocked field goal, which allows the Browns to win it in regulation. So it's just like crazy. Like I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, and especially with like you got Joe Flacco, but that defense is good. One, I think the Packers are probably looking ahead to like Jordan Love will probably throw for 700 yards against the Cowboys.
Yeah, yes, he's licking his chops for sure. He's definitely licking his
But
chops.
they should never, ever, ever again. Now I know they're going to wear those like faux leather helmets,
Oh,
like
yeah, are they?
in the retro this year. But they should never wear white helmets because that, like the Packers, like that yellow helmet with the G on it is
Yeah,
like one of the best helmets of all times.
yeah. I don't disagree with that.
You know what I mean? So, coming out in all white and all that kind of shit is just nonsense. Like fuck Nike.
All right.
Carry the one.
The other field goal impacted game was the Jets 27 at the Bucks 29. Again, this fits under the score doesn't represent what actually happened on the field. The Bucks dominated; they're up 23-6, and then the Jets did come back and capped by a blocked field goal for a touchdown. They gave them 27-26 lead. I mean,
Right, and who was even quarterbacking for the Jets? Like I
uh,
don't even like.
geez, I'm that's bad. Tyrod Taylor. Yeah,
Okay, that's right. That's
yeah,
right. And by the way, Aaron Glenn has become a meme or a
yeah.
meme or whatever you call it. Like
Yeah.
whatever. Like I'm a boomer. Like I don't know how you say it, but when he was like dancing down the field and then they fucking ultimately lost that game, um, not good.
But we talked about it at the top, but Baker Mayfield is like, I love the way he's playing the position, and he's you kind of knew, even despite the blocked field goal for a touchdown, and they shouldn't be losing, that they were still going to win when he got the ball back. So
Yeah, because
pretty impressive.
he's got bravado, machismo, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm all good with Baker. Like if the I mean, it's certainly the Giants are going to not represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
So
So if Baker does, I'm down. I'm down.
you're down with that. Oh man. All right. Those are the blocked field goal games. There's more than that though. I'm trying now. Maybe
Wasn't there? And we also had a joint this weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a joint ricochet in I think the Monday night
And it
game.
was good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
I think it was good. Yeah, like fucking special teams. You got to love them.
All right, so those are trying to think what we haven't talked about yet. Let's go to your game, all right? Since I know you want to talk about it. Chiefs 22 at the Giants 9. Before you get into it, I watched a lot of this game, and it seemed like the Giants had their chances early in that game to like really maybe do something, and then I don't know, they just fell asleep in the second half, I think, or whatever. But I'm sure you have a different take than I do.
Here's my take. Here's my take on it, dude. Going into the game, I thought like, oh, Giants are going to win this game,
Yeah,
right? They're going to upset the Chiefs. Like Chiefs are, they're in trouble. They don't have any quote unquote pieces,
yep,
right? I'm using all the terms now.
yeah. Their wide
They don't have
receiver
any
room
key,
isn't very
right, right,
solid.
wide receiver, right, all that shit. Um, and then and then the first half was okay. First half. Um, but watching that second half, and then when they were in the red zone in the second half, and Russell is like fucking throwing balls off the crossbar, like
Well,
it's just like
he threw one
I
away
was
on
like, what?
he threw a ball away on fourth down. That if that isn't like a nail in the coffin for him sitting, it's nothing is. You know what I mean?
Right, but the whole deal for me is that I still don't like this vaunted quote unquote front seven in the pass
Yeah,
rush.
it's a fair point.
I've yet to see it materialize.
Yeah, that's a fair point. You would expect that. Yeah, I mean they had to draft Abdul Carter. I totally get it. Maybe he will be this generational player, whatever. But it just was a weird fit in the sense of it's like the one thing they didn't need. You know what I mean? In terms
Right,
of
and it's the one thing they don't do is they don't pressure the quarterback. What's he have, a
right.
half sack?
Yeah,
And that's why I
I don't know.
think like I don't know who again I don't want to know his name because he'll be gone.
Yeah.
Is their defensive coordinator sucks? He sucks because you got to scheme. If you have that much talent in the front seven, you got to scheme those guys
Yeah.
to get pressure on the quarterback. Um, so I think it was time to make the change. Would I like to wait one more game? Yes.
Yeah.
Like Neighbors had 2 catches for 13 yards
Yeah, I know.
or something like
And
that.
he didn't even practice today, by the way.
I know, but he'll play Sunday.
Yeah.
And I think and if Dart comes out now, like I'm not naive. Like when Eli's first start, he had a 0.0 QBR against Baltimore.
Yep.
His first like in his first start.
Yep.
So
And look how that turned
you know,
out. The flip side of this, I heard this morning. I wanted to bring this up. Daniel Jones threw for like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and ran for a game-winning score in his first start. And
dude,
look how that turned out. So, like,
I know, but I still, but like you bring up Daniel Jones again, like that's, and I said it earlier, um, that's worse than Saquon Barkley.
right
Like,
now,
'cause
right now it
Saquon,
is, but he's had 3-game
Saquon
stretches
looked
before.
like he looked like he played for the Giants on Sunday. If we could go back to that game,
Right.
there were no big plays, blah blah blah. Um, Philly got lucky with well, not lucky. They're just good on special teams, getting those blocked field goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, something's got to change, and I think Dable is like his seat is getting hotter and hotter by the day.
Yeah.
If they're 0-4 or 0-5, he's finished.
Yeah. Probably.
I think.
Probably.
So is Joe Schoen.
I do love Cam Scatterbo on your team. I wish the Steelers drafted him. I was so bummed when they didn't, because they drafted Caleb Williams or Caleb Johnson a few rounds ahead. But I watched that guy in
No, they drafted Caleb Carey.
Anyway, I do like the way he plays the game, and now, anyway, I like the way he plays the game. And
the fact that he wears number 44.
Yeah, well, that's a nice touch as well. Since I gave you an opportunity to talk about your game, I'll quickly do mine. Steelers 21 at the Pats 14. Steelers are 2-1. Yay! They had no business winning this game. The only reason they did, the Pats turned the ball over 5 times, two of which are at, I think, like literally the 3-yard line.
But that's good defense, right? That's good defense.
It's opportunistic defense. I mean, they can't. They can't get off the field in 3rd or 4th down. There's still communication issues. Aaron Rodgers looks like Peyton Manning his last year. He never throws a ball more than 6 yards downfield. They don't have a running game. Their offensive line sucks. Their defensive line can't stop the run. So.
Right.
Other than that, we're in really good shape because they're 2-1.
Other than that, Mike Tomlin doesn't wear a hat anymore.
Exactly. So, like I said, we can do that one quickly. But hey, it's September. Like going back to the top of the broadcast,
dude, you're in a better position in a lot. You're in a better position in a lot of teams.
Exactly. We could very easily be 0-3, very easily. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But enough said about them for this purpose. So let's go back to a couple of the good games. Broncos 20 at the Chargers 23. I guess, I talked about the Chargers being a surprise team. I don't know how surprising it is. But Herbert sort of plateaued. You know what I mean? Even last year under Harbaugh, he didn't. Everyone's like, especially early on, everyone's waiting for him to break out. And last year he played, efficient football. You know what I mean? He like threw he threw like 20 touchdown passes, only 3 interceptions or something like that. But it wasn't like It wasn't spectacular. And now it's like, all right, this is the Justin Herbert you kind of always knew that was there and would come back at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Including, the game, let him back twice, and why no one else signed Keenan Allen, including the Steelers. It's baffling to me, but that guy's still got it. He had, I think, 2 touchdowns catches in this game. But anyway, the other thing I want to say about this is SoFi even the Chargers are getting good. SoFi is still, that was packed with Broncos fans. I don't know if you saw any of that.
No, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It had to be more than 50-50. It's got to be like really discouraging.
They are a visiting they're a visiting team everywhere,
I know it's like, I mean,
right?
you'd assume, LA is certainly a bandwagon town. You assume that they're 6-0, it's going to start be like a
Right.
lot more Charger fans there, but it is a
Well,
little
they're
strange.
good. I don't know where they play after Sunday, but they're going to come back 3-1.
Exactly. All right. So 5-1, 5-1.
All right.
And the Broncos, who if anyone, I don't know, everyone thought the Broncos would, well, along with the Chargers, would challenge the Chiefs this year. And they've lost two straight games on literally the last play. That's like,
But they've taken a step back. Like I think
yeah,
you know how
Bo
everyone
Nix
talks
hasn't,
about
yeah,
they figure out quarterbacks.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think the
Yep.
league has figured out Bo Nix.
Yeah, and the defense is good. It's great actually. But they can't, you can't hold someone under 20 every week,
Yeah. And so Sean Payton may not be the genius that we all thought he was.
Yeah, they prematurely anointed him that last
Yeah.
year. All right. So that was a good game. The other good game, at least score wise, was the Cardinals 15 at the 49ers 16.
And I did not watch a second of that game.
and it wasn't.
Going to tell you that right now.
It wasn't even in a dome, dude.
I know. But you know what, dude? Like Sunday night in the middle of the fourth quarter, I shut the TV off and just went to bed. Like I was just disgusted.
I know that feeling. Anyway, I should ask this as part of the opening comments, but Mac Jones had his second win. I think second win for the Niners. And I think he threw for like 350 or something. Like he had a lot of yards, even though the score didn't reflect it. So who do you so if they gave out a Sam Darnold award at the end of the year, maybe it's Sam Darnold Baker Mayfield award, I'm not sure which. Who do you think is going to get it? Mac Jones, Danny
Dimes.
Danny
Dimes is getting it.
Carson Wentz is in there somewhere. I'm trying to think of who else. Yeah, well, at this point, it'd be hard to bet against Daniel Jones.
I mean, yeah, like they haven't really beaten anybody good.
Right.
However, you could only play who's on your schedule.
Right. And we don't have to spend any time talking about this game, but the Colts did win last week 41-20 against the Titans. So anyway, just to get that into the podcast and say that we wrapped that one up.
And Cam Ward got hurt, right?
Oh, I didn't.
Is he hurt?
I didn't pick that up. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he did.
That's too bad.
I'm not sure he's going to play this week.
All right, so I guess the other good game this weekend in total was the Lions 38 at the Ravens 31, I think 31. And
that was the Onions game. That was the big Onions game.
Yeah, exactly. So I hate the Ravens, as you can imagine, being a Steelers fan. But no one in the NFC can figure out Lamar Jackson because they only see him like once every 8 years or something like that. You know what I mean? So they don't.
Right.
No matter what they game plan, watch film, talk to other people, whatever. They just don't have. They don't realize his style of play and can't figure it out during a game. So as a result, I think Lamar is like 48-2 or something like that against NFC opponents, some ridiculous number. So going into this game, the odds were in the favor that the Lions wouldn't figure him out either, but they kind of did. I mean, well, I shouldn't. I mean, obviously they scored 31 points and they had a bunch of turnovers, including the Derrick Henry fumble for the third time in 3 weeks in the fourth quarter. But
yeah, like a huge fumble.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows what's going on there? But the Lions are just, and I know they had the first week against the Packers where everyone was like, "Oh, Lions are not what we thought." You know, they looked all the part on this game, man. They
like so much for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, right. They were running the ball down running the ball down their throat, trick plays, all Ben Johnson. Jared Goff, I think, continues to be the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. The guy has so many games where he throws more touchdown passes than interceptions.
Listen, that's a guy I root for.
Yeah, definitely,
I absolutely root
definitely,
for him.
and they love him in Detroit. So anyway, on our first podcast this year, I said I'd love to see the Bills and Lions in Super Bowl just because I think it'd be a great story, and I didn't think the Lions were kind of going to get there because they lost both coordinators and blah 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 blah. But they certainly looked the part on Monday night. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Bills game. I guess that goes way back to last Thursday. Dolphins, who we talked about, spiraling Dolphins 31. I'm sorry, 21. Bills 31. It was in Buffalo. Bills Mafia. Blah 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 blah. The thing that amazed me about that game is Josh Allen is just he just is more and more impressive every week in terms of his. I mean, we all know he can run the ball and run people over, and it's tough to bring down and blah blah blah. But his passing is just like so spot
Dude,
on.
he throws, as they say, like he could spin it, he could throw it into tight windows,
Man, and just like
all that shit.
and it gets there in such a hurry, and I don't know. I just like I continue to be amazed by that guy, and he's obviously got I'm sure he's arguably in his prime, but it looks like he's going to be staying there for a while. And then the other side of the ball we talked about, but the Dolphins are just spiraling. I mean, I don't know, where does
Yeah, you cannot be coached by your head coach cannot be Tony Montana. You know what I mean? Like he cannot be hanging out in South Beach with the curly hair
exactly.
and the shades and all that kind of bullshit. But yeah, and even like so from watching Hard Knocks and just his commercials, right?
Yeah,
Josh Allen, I'm talking about.
yeah,
Like, how could you not root for that for that guy?
It just seems like such a
You know what I mean?
So anyway, so Tony, there's the love for the Bills if you ever listen to the podcast.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Tony, you better tune in. You better tune in, brother.
All right, I guess we can kind of go rapid fire a little bit. Oh, let's talk about the Raiders, and since we're hitting all our listeners' favorite teams, let's talk about the Raiders. Raiders 24, the what the fucks 41. No Jaden Daniels, no problem apparently. Marcus.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah, it did as well. It surprised me as well. And the Raiders just I read somewhere, heard somewhere that because I was a bit in all my fantasy leagues I tried to and got in most of them Ashton Jenney, because I thought it was like this is Jamar Gibbs, this is Bijan Robinson. People just don't know it yet, and maybe that'll still turn out the case. But like their offensive line is so bad that guy gets hit behind the line of scrimmage like more than half the times he carries the ball. So
Right, like he has to break 3 tackles to get a 1-yard gain.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Right.
Raiders have some problems on the offensive line for sure. Maybe other places. I don't know. Geno. I don't know. I didn't write down what Geno Smith did in this game, but he must have not bounced back a little bit from his performance the week before. But
right.
Right. But anyway.
Sorry, pup.
Yeah. So the Raiders are 1-2 and looking up and everyone else in that division right now. All right. We touched on it in the top of the show. Let's talk about did we talk about the Cowboys and the Bears? We kind of touched on it, but
we just talked about how bad their defense is.
Exactly. So maybe we should leave. The score was Cowboys 14 at the Bears 31.
Like if Russ got benched after throwing for 450 yards.
Yeah. Yeah,
that tells you how bad their defense is.
Exactly. That's a really good point. Yeah, I don't. Dak actually got benched in this game. It was probably because it was out of hand, but he did threw 2 picks in like the second half, maybe, and he did get benched.
Well, because CeeDee Lamb is hurt, right?
Yeah. I think he went out in this game. So, but I don't think it's season ending or anything. But he's banged up for sure. And they put in Joe Milton. Joe Milton was he's this guy from Tennessee who can literally he can stand on one goal line and throw it to the other goal line. Like he's got this.
He can spin it. He can spin it.
I'm sure it's an exaggeration, but he's like got that kind of arm talent. But
okay.
But but the Patriots traded him away for a 5th round draft choice, and now he's a Cowboys backup. So who knows?
Yeah.
And yet, and then Caleb Williams, I don't know, maybe Ben Johnson can get what he's out of him.
Dude,
for one game he did, I guess. Let's put it that way.
Dude, you got to understand this. Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards against that defense.
So let's not base anything on Caleb's performance against the Cowboys.
Throw that one out the window.
Fair point.
450 carry the one. Yeah, like 451, I think it was. After that game, Russell was like plus 200 to win the MVP.
Yeah, I love that Jared's already talking about, well, wait till you see what we do with these draft picks next year. I'm like, really? It's week 3 of this year, man.
He's flushing the season down the toilet.
Anyway, it's just... anyway, even Cowboys fans know the Cowboys aren't going to win anything until he passes away.
He dies. He dies.
I'm not wishing it to happen. I'm saying nothing's going to happen for the Cowboys good until that happens.
I don't want him to see it. I don't want him to be assassinated.
Right.
But I just want him to have a natural death.
Right. All right, I think we only have 3 more games to talk about, which are all kind of snoozers. Falcons 0 somehow. I didn't watch any of this game. Falcons 0. Carolina 30. How does Carolina shut you out, man? That's the only thing.
I have no idea. Like everybody in Atlanta should be worried about their job.
Yeah, for sure. And they're already kind of running Penix out of town. So what does that mean? Kirk Cousins is now the saver? Is he still on that team?
I have no idea. Like, is he who did they sub in for Penix?
I
didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it, but I can look it up right now if you want.
That game was it didn't matter. The game was in the fucking dome.
They subbed in Kirk Cousins. Anyway,
and Kirk came in to the side of the father and said, God bless us.
All right, who knows what happened in that game? I guess this was a decent game, and again, I didn't watch much of it. Texans 10 at the Jags 17.
Didn't watch that.
Texans are 0-3, and everyone kind of thought they were on the, last year Stroud was, second year sophomore jinx or whatever you want to say, and he's going to be back to being CJ Stroud, and that clearly hasn't happened. Their offense is really awful. I think they've scored 40 points all season or something like that.
That's like the whole conversation about coming back to the pack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where people figure you out.
Yeah, but it seems like he would have played through that a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I think they're another team where their offensive line just is not up to snuff. You know what I mean? So there's so many teams like that. We've talked a lot about that in previous.
Kind of like the New York Giants.
Yes, kind of like that. Although when you got what's his name back, and he looked good.
Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, Andrew Thomas. He did look pretty good, I gotta say.
Dude, by the way, I wanted to make a comment. Like we've already passed the Philly game, but the right guard is always offsides. Or
and that's supposed to be
always,
a point
constantly.
of emphasis. Well,
and they didn't call it at all.
Yeah, they got Jawan Taylor again in your game. So that guy's literally always lined up in the backfield.
Right.
But and on top of the, since we're talking about the Eagles, they in slow motion, obviously not easier to tell, but they went offsides twice on tush push. I'm like, if you're going to go offsides in a tush push, you're probably going to, pick up the yard.
Dude, the right guard is always leaving early,
especially on a tush push. Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right. All right. Last game we have to talk about, or just mention, I guess, Saints 10, I think. Seahawks 44. I don't know.
So they actually played.
Yeah, exactly. Saints are literally they got to be the worst team in the league, and it's not going to get better, really.
And I'll tell you what, if the Giants lose to them, Dable will be fired.
Oh yeah, on the spot. He won't be
like on the tarmac.
Exactly. He won't be getting on the plane. He'll get the
Lane Kiffin.
He'll get the Kiffin treatment.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's what I got for this week. I don't know if I forgot anything. If I did, I apologize. But those are the games.
No, that's all I have. I just had I had some notes on the room, running back room, linebacker room, this room, that room, inside the building, outside the building, the eyes. I just heard Harley.
Yeah, Harley.
Was that her?
Yeah, that is her.
You go, girl. You go, girl. All right. No, so I think we're good for this week. Glad we got this done. Good luck in Dublin.
Yes.
Get on an Aer Lingus flight.
Got to wake up at 6:30 to watch that game, man. That's crazy.
You will.
Yeah, I will.
You'll just stay up. You'll stay up all night. You'll just stay up all night.
If Syracuse beats Duke, you never know.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Take care. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
All right.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. And follow us on social media to stay in the loop with all things Mad Dog and Pino. Until next time, keep those ice cubes jiggling.